Tonight on Task Force Geek, we're going to be talking about the biggest news out of the MCU in the last 6 months. We have an actor for Kang the Conqueror, and we'll discuss what that may mean for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Also, we will talk about canceling The Walking Dead after 11 seasons. We talk about the state of the movie industry again, and it's spoiler alert, it's not so great. And we'll talk about the new Call of Duty Cold War trailer, and that's coming up now. Welcome to Task Force Geek. My name is Dirk Hooper, and I'm joined today by Shawn.
Yep.
And Walt.
How you doing, everyone?
It says Walter Mill on his deal there. And CaseyJane.
Hello. So
how about also known as LittleMissFury? So how's everyone doing tonight?
I'm doing lovely. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. We already have quite a few people watching. That's kind of cool.
Pretty good.
Look at that.
Hello, everyone.
There, yeah. Say hello. And we've got comment. Of course, we have comments coming in. Scott is not with us tonight. He is on assignment. How about that? How does that sound? How official? All of the stories or questions. What'd you say, Shawn?
All right.
Are you with that? We sent him on an assignment. All the stories or questions that we're talking about tonight were shared on the Task Force Geek Facebook group. Let's see. Oh my gosh, here we go. It's already started. The pain. There's the core of Task Force Geek. There's 530,000 people on there. If you're interested,
that's pretty impressive.
Pretty impressive, right? And then also, if you're interested in what we're doing. You can check out the Task Force Geek Facebook group. There is a lot of activity on there. I mean, everyone's sharing stuff. It's a lot of fun. So get on there. Get it. Let's see. We're looking for guests for Task Force Geek, either for an interview or to join us on the show. If you have something to promote, like an independent comic, a game, movie, or something else that's geeky, we want to help you with promotion. How does it get better than that? Contact us at taskforcegeek@gmail.com. We are broadcasting live on my Facebook account. That's the Facebook account right there. Also on Twitch. We're going to talk about Twitch here in just a second. And on our beautiful YouTube channel, there is the note for that.
One last pretty note. Link.
Isn't it pretty? Isn't it beautiful?
So pretty.
It doesn't say anymore.
Yes, it's not in Sanskrit any longer. Hey, where is our share team? If you're watching this on Facebook, Twitch, or YouTube, please share this right now while we're live. We'll be live for the next hour or so. And if you share us on your platform, then your platform becomes our platform, and we deeply appreciate it. Thank you very much. So before we begin, I want to go back to this Twitch thing and talk a little bit about Shawn and I doing something we've never done before, which is broadcasting live on Twitch. Shawn, you want to talk a little bit about that for a second?
It's really funny whenever you get an old man playing a video game on live TV.
It is pretty fascinating.
I'm not the most comfortable speaker, as it were, especially when I'm by myself on my couch playing the Division 2,
right?
Talking to no one.
Right.
It's really kind of weird, but yeah, it's been an experience. Just trying to figure all the ins and outs and getting that working.
The two of us have been kind of working together to figure out some technical issues. Now, you should know that both Walt and CaseyJane have been doing this for a while, so we should be talking to them to figure all this stuff out. Like we were broadcasting at like some sort of 1980s bit rate or something. It was like 2 squares per second.
Oh.
In all honesty, I have to fail a lot to learn.
Yeah, me too.
It's not, you talk to somebody, okay, do this, and do this, and everything will be fine, because that'll never stick in my head. I have to bash my head against a brick wall about 5 times before it's like, oh, that hurts. Stop doing that. Do something else. But yeah, so far everything's working cool.
Well, if it's any consolation, 2 days ago, I went back to watch some video of a race I did. Actually, it wasn't even a race. It was just driving around, just getting in some laps so I could get the free car for the day. And I don't do a lot of talking when I know nobody's watching, but there sure was a lot of heavy breathing, like really loud, heavy breathing.
That doesn't sound good at all.
And I was
like,
like,
you
nope.
demonetized.
Exactly. Hello to Marianne.
Excuse me.
Congratulations.
All I could hear was, and I was like, nope, we're gonna have to delete that.
Wow. Hello to Marianne and to Ken and to Jim. Gigi says, Mr. Hooper, you're an excellent host. Thank you. I hope Walt, CaseyJane, and Mr. Wilson have a super evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Sean's mom's already checking in.
Hi, Mom.
Hello to Betty. And Marianne says, old guys doing game streams? No, never. I need to check out one of those vids when you get a chance. There's the link right there. And I actually have a little bit more I want to talk about on this subject before we get off of it. I've been playing Saints Row 4, which I love Saints Row 4. Saints Row 4 came out in, when did we figure that, Sean? 2012?
17? Saints Row 4?
Saints Row 4? I think it's much earlier than that.
I don't remember.
It came out on right at the end of the last generation. Oh
no, you're right. It came out right.
So
2013
for my 360.
And we're just about to go into a new generation, so it skipped a generation basically.
It came out in 2013.
Thank you very much. Look at that.
You're welcome.
That is good stuff. Anyway,
I originally had it on my 360.
I have to share this. I have a picture for everyone. I have to share this if I can find it. Here it comes. There we go. Now, the thing about, I know, the thing about these games is that, or Saints Row 4, is that you can actually create a character that looks like yourself. Now, a lot of games say that you can do that, but like the character creation thing for like the Division 2 does not make this face. This face is not, it's not possible to do it. I mean, I can make a bald guy with glasses and a beard, but it still doesn't look like me. I realize some people think that all bald guys with glasses and beards look alike, but my face is different than whatever the character generation is for this last generation of games. For some reason, it has perplexed this last generation. I can't think of it. Like Mass Effect, fail. I ended up with a guy that looked Asian. He didn't look. He looked nothing like me.
GTA is awful.
He had a bald head and a beard, but he didn't look like me.
So you mean to tell me if Scott grows out a beard, he won't look like you?
He does, but what I'm saying is that if you created Scott in Saints Row 4, he would look like me and like himself, but he's not going to, if you do it in the Division 2 or 1 or whatever, or almost any, or Mass Effect or any other game that has a character generator, it's not going to look like either one of us. I'm just saying, why can't video games create character? Because they did it 8 years ago. Why can't we do it?
The closest I've gotten was in Dragon Age Inquisition, and I think that character looks just like me.
The closest I got was with Tiger Woods PGA Golf, and we're going all the way back to PlayStation 2.
Wow.
I mean, I was able to do myself, my mom, and my dad, and they all looked like them.
Okay.
Who doesn't make characters to look like me? I'd like to make him look like the ideal me. It doesn't look like me at all.
I mean, look at you can see that picture I just shared. That doesn't look exactly like me either. If I was at the gym,
Commander Shepard.
If I was at the gym for 2 years and worked out exclusively my arms, I might look like that. But the character is built like me, and the face is pretty close. It's the closest I've been able to get in all this time. You mentioned Dragon Age, and in Inquisition, I got a character that looked pretty close to me too. So there is one game that's in this generation that got it. But why is it so difficult? There's a game that's coming out soon, Cyberpunk, that is like, look, folks, that's my ultimate game. If that game doesn't suck, you may never hear from me again. But they're supposed to have a character generator, and I guarantee you I'm going to end up playing a girl, because there's no way I'm going to be able to create a character that looks like me. So it's like, I'll just play a girl. That's what's going to end up happening. Although I would love to be able to put me in the Cyberpunk world.
So much pessimism.
I just disbelieve that they're going to do it right. But we'll see.
I think you get the Spicy King Award today.
Thanks, Walt. Let's see. Marianne says that she hasn't played that since 2013. Most people probably haven't. I'm playing it now on Twitch. You can check me out on there. She says also we should play Bloodborne sometime. Anyone?
Can I have a recommendation now that we're talking about Bloodborne?
Yeah, let's have it.
I don't like Bloodborne that much, but Code Vein, great game. It's the anime version pretty much of Bloodborne, and it's wonderful. And that's where I customize my character to look nothing like me and shoot a hot.
I'm writing down.
I think I've got Code Vein downloaded.
It's such a good game.
I haven't played it yet, but I do believe I've got that downloaded.
I wrote down Bloodborne right there. I'm checking it out. Gigi says Mr. Hooper is not a dirty ginger, CaseyJane.
If just for pure visuals and nostalgia, that latest Transformers game, it looks like you're playing the old cartoon. I've
seen that. That looks excellent.
I have it, and I've been through the whole thing 3 or 4 times just so I could. It's really fun to play. It's a straight up. I mean, there's nothing fancy about it. In fact, if you've played Spider-Man,
I just had an idea.
It's slightly easier than Spider-Man.
Shawn has an idea.
I have not played Spider-Man because I don't have PlayStation.
They need to do a Division style game. Only make it look like the 80s G.I. Joe cartoon.
Ooh.
I would totally play the crap out of that game.
Sounds pretty good.
See?
Oh my God, Walt.
All right, what is going on over there?
I'm scared.
He wants to tap that straight in, buddy. I know exactly what you're saying.
Oh my God.
Hey, look right here, see?
Oh yeah.
I know. We know, Walt. We know, Walt. Okay, we're getting into our first we haven't even started our first segment.
We need to get into the first segment.
Here it goes. Hey, this is a good crowd tonight. We haven't even started this thing, and we're already 13 minutes in. That's pretty cool. I knew we'd have fun with both of you on the show here.
Hey,
anyway, wait a minute. Are you reading something that I didn't read? What do we got? Oh, Stoney. He says, I can't hang. We're about to go to do dinner. Hey, welcome. We're glad that you popped in to say hi and keep us up on that deal. You got about a month away from releasing your comic. We really want to see it out there. Okay. After a long dry spell on the Marvel Cinematic Universe news front, there's finally been a new casting, and it's major. Jonathan Majors from Lovecraft County is joining the cast of Peyton Reed's Ant-Man 3 as Kang the Conqueror. Kang's history in the Marvel Universe is complex, to say the least. But in the grand scheme of things, the time-traveling despot is a big deal in terms of his connections to Marvel heroes and villains alike. In fact, when it comes to being a constant thorn in the Avengers side, collective sides, he's right up there with Ultron and Thanos. Major's casting as Kang doesn't just suggest the stakes of Ant-Man 3 are going to be a lot bigger than the previous 2 films. It also paves the way for an expansion of the MCU's narrative in both the past and the present. So for a reaction to that, first, let's go to Shawn.
The announcement of the actor to play Kang was not as ground-shattering to me. Hi, Walt's dead. Was not as earth-shattering to me as just the idea that Kang is going to be introduced into the MCU.
Pretty interesting.
I think Kang is a well, there were rumors about Kang, but nothing was set in stone. I think he's a great villain. I think he's a great choice, especially after the previous phases that dealt so much with time and the manipulation of time. I think he's a perfect foil to kind of come in and try to quote unquote fix what the Avengers have disrupted.
All right. Well, what do you think?
I kind of predicted that he would be the next big bad, like the next big bad. So them choosing Kang as the next villain wasn't a shock. It was a shock to me as to who they chose to cast as that character, which I did the who,
Right.
So I'm really excited to see Kang the Conqueror.
Now you're watching Lovecraft Country, aren't you?
I am watching Lovecraft.
Yeah, let's hear a little bit, because I think you're probably the only person that's watching that. What do you think about that actor?
He's great. He's excellent.
Now, what do you think about him as Kang?
Yeah.
I've been visually, because we all know how Kang looks like,
Right?
and
It's got an unusual look.
I can visually see it.
Really?
I can actually see it.
Yeah.
Because going back, if you remember that, not the latest. Actually, you can go back and look at the latest animated series of the last few animated series of the Avengers.
Yeah,
and you can see that there's kind of black features to his face. I mean, you could say that he kind of has black features. I mean, but you could actually cast anybody as Kang the Conqueror. I mean, it's
right. I mean, what is he? Purple? Yeah. I mean,
so
like Thanos, it could be literally anyone.
Yeah, you could literally cast anybody as that character, and
say hi to your mom.
Hey, Mom.
There we go.
But I'm shocked that that's who they got. Actually, I'm not shocked that that's who they got because of who he is. I'm just kind of shocked that he's available for it.
Right. I mean, when Marvel comes, look, Marvel is a sweet gig. Hello to Jari. Marvel is a sweet gig. If Marvel comes knocking at your door, you clear out a little space.
Yeah, seriously.
I mean,
Star Wars, Marvel. I mean, even if people are kind of snubbing their nose at DC movies, I'd still take it. I'm going to jump at it. So,
yeah, are you ready to be in $1 billion movie?
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready to be. I'm ready to be in a $500 million movie. So
yeah, come on. I mean, just take the payday and take the adoration.
Yeah,
and you can do whatever. You can do little independent films and stuff if that's what feeds you. But when these big things come calling, just do them.
Yeah. Definitely don't turn it down.
Every time I'm on this podcast, I walk the fine line of possibly ruining the Marvel movies for myself.
I understand. Where are you in those Marvel movies?
We just finished Winter Soldier.
Oh, yeah.
What did you think?
Oh, it's so good. And I'm not the biggest Cat fan. I'm not.
Yeah.
I like Iron Man, but it was so good. So that's where I'm at right now. I think I'm up next as Guardians of the Galaxy. I think.
Yes.
Which I'm trying to boycott because I don't want to watch Guardians. But
why do you not want to watch Guardians?
Because I'm mad at them because they took over the Tower of Terror in Disney. So I want to boycott them, but I'm told I'm not allowed to. I'm told I'm not allowed.
That's very deep.
Wait until you see Guardians. You may change your mind.
That's meta.
No,
that's actually meta.
I'm gonna have
to. It is meta.
The Winter Soldier, out of all of the Marvel movies, I think the Winter Soldier is probably my favorite.
It's number one on my list,
with a close second by Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh,
And
no.
I say that only because I had gotten to go to a preview. It was 12 minutes of the movie, and within that 12 minutes, I was sold. I was sold completely on whatever James Gunn was going to do.
Yeah.
Going into it, I thought there's no way they can make this work. This is the dumbest idea I've ever heard. I can't even imagine that somebody would want to do this movie. And then I saw that 12-minute little teaser intro.
Yeah, that was unusual for Marvel. Is anyone else familiar with that? Walt, did you do that?
Do what?
The little they had a deal where they gave away back. This was back in 2013,
I didn't get
14.
I didn't get to get in.
They gave away tickets that would allow you to see however many minutes, 12, 15 minutes at the beginning of the film. And you went to the theater and you watched the film unabridged, just from the very beginning for about 15 minutes, and then you went home. And the reason why they did that is because no one had ever heard of the Guardians of the Galaxy. They're like, what? It's like there's a talking raccoon and there's a tree that's in this group. I mean, who are these people? We've never heard of that. So, I mean, at the time, Marvel was like banking big on something that was extremely obscure. I mean, even for people who was familiar with the comics, they were not familiar with the Guardians of the Galaxy. And so
for me,
they had to sell it.
I'm familiar with the original Guardians of the Galaxy that were in the 31st century or something like that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so I was used to that, and I kind of sort of knew about this version of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
And was not interested.
Right.
And then the movie comes out, and I was like, well, it's part of the larger scheme of things, so we've got to see it. And then I walked out of out of the movie theater like,
it's really good.
like, yeah,
It ruined the Tower of Terror.
It's really good. I was a big fan of Star-Lord going back to the early 80s. And I know that's very unusual. And was a big fan of Rocket Raccoon because Mike Mignola did the 4-issue limited series in the, what was it, late 80s or early 90s?
Early
something
80s.
Like that.
I had
early 80s.
That had to be the early 80s.
Anyway, I was a fan of those two characters. I didn't know who Groot was, or Gamora, or there were a lot of characters I didn't know there, but two of the characters I was a big fan of before Guardians of the Galaxy, so I was pretty pumped up about it. But even this Marvel fan who goes back many decades, there were some characters there I did not know.
1985.
85. Wow. Okay. Jim says Guardians rules. It certainly does. By the way, Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is my favorite Marvel movie. Guardians soundtrack is awesome. Dude, Guardians 2 made me cry. Any Marvel film that makes me cry gets a little, it gets a push. Kang has to be the lead in for Fantastic Four. I'm just about to talk about that. And Jerry says Groot. So anyway, here's my take on the news. Number one, I don't know the actor. He, just like Walt says, that guy could be Kang just as much as anyone. If you put some CGI on him or you put some purple paint. So what I trust is Kevin Feige. So whatever they chose, that's cool. I am very excited to hear that Ant-Man is going to be a bigger film, that instead of being kind of a smaller project, it's going to be something that might blow up or be used to kind of explain things about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's very exciting. Rumor has it that this could be a lead-in to the Ant-Man film with Kang, could be a lead-in for Young Avengers, which I think we've talked about that on here. They certainly have all the pieces in place for the Young Avengers, including Scott Lang's daughter and Hawkeye's daughter. And, you don't have an Iron Man now. So maybe you have we
don't have a Captain America.
We don't have a Captain America. All of the pieces are in place for Young Avengers. And I think that's a pretty good place for them to go with the Avengers for that next movie. And also look, you have to realize that Kang is a lot like Dr. Doom or Thanos or something. he has tendrils in a lot of different things. So, and because he's a time traveler, once again, it's another thing that could lead to the Fantastic Four, or it could lead to the X-Men, because you have to constantly be asking, how are they going to introduce those two properties? They're coming in probably whatever they call phase 5. And this could be the tip off for that stuff. So that's my take on it. Any other comments on this? From
Kang is blue like Yondu.
Okay, blue.
Okay.
Blue like Yondu. That sounds like maybe it could be a song.
Hey,
So
you
we're
made a
watching
rhyme.
Avatar is what you're telling me.
You
made a rhyme.
Yes,
you want to make a song called Blue Like Yondu?
I might.
Trademark it
I
right
might.
now.
Yeah.
No.
Get that copyright.
That's good stuff. All right, we're moving on to the next subject then.
Great music.
Thank you very much. The Walking Dead is officially ending after its 11th season. Season 11 will be a supersized, we're getting to it, a supersized season offering the show a 24 episode farewell tour with its airing beginning in the fall of 2021. The 24 episode run will span the fall of 2021 and the beginning of 2022. It is unclear whether it will be broken into 3 8-part segments or 2 12-part halves. The AMC zombie show began in 2010 with its premiere episode Days Gone By airing on Halloween. In the years which followed, The Walking Dead became a global hit, claiming the #1 spot on cable and spawning several spin-off shows, including 2 more new series, which will follow its conclusion. They're going to introduce 2 more shows, so if you like The Walking Dead, it ain't over. First, since she spoke up, we're going to CaseyJane.
I can't stand The Walking Dead. I'm sorry. Possibly an unpopular opinion. I stopped after season 4 because it's so repetitive. Like, that's my biggest thing, is it's so repetitive. And then now, like, with I don't know how to say this without spoiling, but with some characters not being there anymore, it's just like, what's the point of it still going? So it is nice for it to finally like wrap up and see where they're going. But yeah, right. No, it's so repetitive. I couldn't.
You're done with it.
I stopped at season 4, but I'm sick of hearing about it because it's always the same thing. Even when I hear about it, like I'm like, all right, well that happened like what, 4 seasons ago, 5 seasons ago? Like we've seen it. Sorry.
All right, well, that's okay. We're going to Walt.
This show first came out, I was already done with the whole zombie genre.
Wow.
And so I was like, the first time somebody asked me, well, why aren't you watching The Walking Dead? I said, because I'm tired of zombies. And it was like, and the first reaction to that response is always, well, it's not about killing the zombies. It's about the human interaction. And I was like, well, I've seen this story before. And they're like, really? Where? I said, it's Battlestar Galactica. And I said, take
something to be said for that. Yeah.
Take The Walking Dead, replace the zombies with hordes of robots coming at you,
right?
Nonstop. Set it in a outer space setting. Let's see, your whisperers, the whisperers in The Walking Dead. That's your 12 from Battlestar Galactica.
Right.
So, seen it before, been there, done that.
Wow. And so you're ready for it to go.
I was ready for it to go on the first episode.
Wow. Wow. All right, Shawn, you're up.
Shawn hates us right now.
No, not at all. Actually, I stopped watching about 2 seasons ago, I think. I thought it was an interesting adaptation of the comics. I thought they did a great job with it. I liked the characters. I was not necessarily shocked by any of the characters who were killed off or left the show, whatever. Up until those last, like I said, the I haven't seen it in 2 seasons. So the 2 seasons prior to that, there were 2 main cast members that made their exits, and those were shocks to me. So I believe after those 2 exits, I commented that it's only a matter of time. The show's done. It's over. It was over for me. As far as comparisons to Battlestar Galactica, that's funny because I hated Battlestar Galactica. But I'm not going to get into that.
That's next week.
We'll wait.
All right, well, we're going to go to me now. Basically, I always said, Walt, you said Battlestar Galactica. I always said it was basically a soap opera with zombies. I mean, and I said that back when I was reading the comics. I mean, I read the comics up through maybe issue 50 or something. And it's, a story about the human condition and about how people interact with each other with zombies. And, back long ago, I said that this would make a really great television series. And what do you know? It did make a really great television series for a few seasons. I watched the beginning of it and then dropped off in the middle and then came in, a few years ago because all of my friends were watching it. So I started watching it too. And then at kind of the end of when they defeated Negan, I felt like, maybe I'm done. Maybe I'm done with this. Some of the things that CaseyJane mentioned, which is kind of the repetitive nature of it and all that sort of stuff. I just feel like, and Shawn mentioned the exit of certain characters. They took too many characters off the table that should have been around for longer, merely for the purpose of, shock value or whatever. And I feel like that they would have had a better story if they just hung in there with those characters a little bit longer. And I think that the show has probably been on a couple of seasons past its prime. It should have ended about season 10. They did some sort of thing where they warped ahead in time and they had to, kind of reset the cast and did all the stuff. This is long overdue, folks. If they want to do, movies, or if they want to do other series or something, that's fine. I say, that you could do conceivably Walking Dead series, till the end of time, I guess. Back when it was in its heyday, it was the #1 show on television, and you have to, on cable television, you have to respect that because it opened up the door for all of the science fiction and fantasy stuff that you see now. If you have the #1 show, every executive in every television studio and on Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime say, wow, what are we going to do to counter this? And that's how you get whatever. That's how you get The Boys. That's how you get, whatever your favorite, that's how you get Star Trek coming back on CBS All Access. Everything that's out there right now owes a little to the success of The Walking Dead and Game of Thrones, because those things proved that genre stuff can not just do okay, but can rule the roost. So congratulations to them for doing that.
Oh, I mean, absolutely.
Yeah.
But like you said, like it started out great, but then it just slowly was just a decline, in my opinion. And that's my opinion, but that's how I saw it. I would love to see a movie though about that, and maybe like the end of the apocalypse, like if they were able to survive it. I would love to see something like that and how they like rebuild society.
So you want to see a movie of The Walking Dead? Is that what you're talking about?
I would like to see a movie like at like the very, like it'd be like at the very end, like they survived so long, and then and then like, so it's like after the events of the TV show.
I think we're going to get, I think they're doing that. They're going to do Daryl and who's
Daryl's still alive?
Yes. Daryl and what's her name?
That makes me happy here.
Wow. Daryl and whoever it is who's with him are going to have their own series. It's going to focus on them, and it will be set after that deal. So you're going to get what you want. You're going to get full on Daryl.
Thank God. Now I'm going to watch that.
CaseyJane, full on Daryl. That it's what it's going to be called. It's going to be called Full on Daryl, The Walking Dead.
Now I have to say, Jeffrey Dean Morgan fantastic.
He was amazing.
He is, oh yeah. You know, if anybody read The Walking Dead and the character of Negan, you have to look at Morgan and just say you're a fantastic actor, because he embodied that character so well, and all of his little intricacies and personality quips and whatnot. He really embodied that character like no other. And
Negan?
Yeah, and my hat's off to you.
Yeah, that guy was so amazing.
See, now I couldn't take him seriously. I kept seeing him as Denny Duquette, that's why.
Ashell
He was
says
in Grey's Anatomy.
Daryl is her guy too. Ken says they planned a couple of movies with Rick. They did. I haven't seen them yet.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about that.
Jim also complains about that. Where's Rick's movies? Rick.
I
Ashell again says that she would definitely watch a Walking Dead movie. Look,
I believe there was
women like
event.
Daryl, so just put Daryl in it and be done with
That's it. That's all you need.
Ashell also says that Negan was perfect.
He was. He was absolutely, and it saddens me that we had to take so long to get to that character. I know everybody was scared how they were going to portray that character and what they would be able to get away with.
And there was still a lot of controversy once, right? Because he didn't cuss like he does in the comics.
Yeah, I think every other word's F-bomb this and F-bomb that. And I mean, but that's just his character.
But how could you do better than what they did with that guy? Seriously, they really.
I mean,
like I
gave
said,
him his moment.
If you can pull off the character without the language, that's
right?
scarier.
Yeah,
That's true.
And that's what I'm saying. Morgan is he's a god in that role. He took it, he made it his, and he made him cool.
He's another guy you could put in just about anything. As far as I'm concerned, I'd be pretty happy about it.
He was in Supernatural.
He was
For
the dad.
a very
He was the
short time, but he was there.
Right?
Yeah.
Has anyone played the game? The Walking Dead game?
Yes.
What are your thoughts on that?
Which one?
All of
played
them.
The Telltale game, or are you talking about something else?
The comic game. I think that's
I've played the Telltale game. It's really interesting. It's really cool, and I like the graphic style, especially.
It's so nice with Clementine.
Mm-hmm. The thing that really got me was how you would come to events and you would make a decision, and then that would spurn the direction that your story went. I really appreciated that aspect of it. I mean, you're only given like two choices, so I mean the depth is not very deep, but it was an interesting an interesting path for the game and for making it your own story. Red Dawn remake had Jeffrey. Yeah.
That don't count.
I mean, what was the movie? Rampage?
He also
Rampage
played Batman's dad. And he was in Watchmen. He's been in a lot of stuff, folks. He's had a long, storied career. And he's awesome.
Cohen. Crap, now I can't think of her name. Maggie from The Walking Dead was his wife in the Batman movie.
Oh, there you go.
So 2 Walking Dead alumni in the
How about
Batman
that?
movie.
How about that? How's that treating you? Is there anything else that anyone wants to say on this subject? The Walking Dead is dead.
I think everybody's ready for that to just move on.
Sounds like it. Sounds like we're all in agreement. All right, we're going on to the next deal, which is we're going to call this our. Oh, where is So just because nothing says the internet or talk shows more than us wagging our finger at you and saying, we told you so. Here's our segment of We Told You So. The first thing that we're going to talk about is that there is a rumor that Shuri is going to be the next Black Panther. And this comes from We Got This Covered, so take it for what it's worth. They say it's a rumor. They say that it's from a reliable source, but they always say that. We have this rumor and it's from a terrible source. So we decided to write an article on it. Now, they always say it's from a reliable source, but that doesn't always mean that it's true. But it's not just We Got This Covered that's talking about this. The entire internet has basically crowned Shuri as the next Black Panther, whether that's for sure going to happen or not, but that's definitely something that we talked about on here. Does anyone want to make comments on that? Well, I think we talked about that maybe 2 or 3 episodes ago.
I can see it happening. The Black Panther cartoon that they had for a short time, the Avengers, there's an episode or a series of episodes where he has to,
Thank you, Jim.
I guess, he meets like the spirit of the first Black Panther.
Yeah, cool.
And it's actually twins.
Like, is it like 10,000 BC Black Panther? Because I think we talked about that not too long.
I don't remember how far back it was, but it's the first Black Panther.
That's cool.
And it's actually 2 twins. It's a brother and sister.
Oh, okay.
And they both, and I'm going through this vaguely, but they both get the power of the Black Panther, but one ends up being evil. And I think it was the sister that wound up being evil.
All right.
I like most women.
So, yeah. But as the story progresses, she's the one who ends up being in the present, coming back to the present time, whatever, but we're not going to go into that. But just the fact that through that, they kind of explored past Black Panthers to know that one of them, or at least maybe a few others after that, were women. So
interesting.
It's pretty interesting on that.
Well,
right. I mean, in the comic, Shuri was Black Panther.
Right.
So there's precedent for it. They could literally do anything they want to. I would grab what's his name? The guy who played the bad guy in the first film. I would grab him out of an alternate dimension and say that he's a good guy this time Killmonger. Or something. I mean, yeah, Killmonger, because he was pretty awesome, in my opinion. He would make a great Black Panther. But hey, it looks like consensus is that it's going to be Shuri, and supposedly there is a rumor that Marvel has made the move on that, but who knows? There could be 4 people that are Black Panther in the next film. I mean, all you had to do is eat that thing.
Right.
Eat the thing.
If there's any left.
Of the entire cast, I would have to say that Shuri probably impressed me the most. I have to say that Black Panther impressed me the most.
Everyone loves Shuri, except for Michelle, who doesn't know who Shuri is.
Well, well, Shuri is Black Panther's exceptionally smart sister.
And one with all the tech stuff.
Yeah, and so
and the attitude.
She's
and possibly smarter than Tony Stark.
Yes.
Bite your tongue.
Oh no,
no.
They set that up.
They have illustrated both in
they had Bruce Banner
comics and the comic
talk about that subject.
She's got a brain in that head. She's not just pretty, she's smart as hell too. And I would absolutely love to see whether it's just a rumor, if they actually do move on it. I think that would be a fantastic move to. I think
it's a great move too.
Put her in that role because she is such a likable character.
You could put her in the Young Avengers. Sure. Also, by the way, I mean, she fits right into that. And the person I was trying to think of earlier was Riri Williams, who was the young girl who was Iron Man. She took over the Iron Man thing for a while. So that also someone for the Young Avengers. I mean, there's so many ways they could do that, folks. I think it's happening. Oh, okay. Now that Michelle knows who we're talking about, she loves her.
She was awesome. How can
She
you not
was-
love her?
She was awesome. I mean, we needed to see more of her.
Absolutely. I totally agree.
Both down. Welcome both down. Said that
up?
Scott said in an alternate reality theory, Killmonger's the next Black Panther last week. So there you go. I mean, look, it's comics, folks. You can do anything you want. You
Right.
can literally do anything you want to. They have everything set up right now where they can jumble everything. Kevin Feige said last week that they're going to basically jumble everything up here coming soon. Little sister attitude, like the little sister from Good Times.
I loved Good Times.
I did too. I was a big Good Times fan.
What's good times?
Oh my.
Oh,
Sorry, I've sinned.
BTV. Watch a lot of.
There you
BTV.
go. Watch it. Yeah, you're gonna. You don't
that
have
hurt.
enough time to catch up on all this.
Yeah.
Oh, right there, right in the heart.
Marianne says that she thinks Shuri would make a great Black Panther. Caleb.
I'm sorry.
I don't.
Not of the Caleb.
I don't either. What do you?
I just said Caleb.
Oh, you just said Caleb?
Oh no, Shawn said Caleb, so I just said Caleb. That's all.
We're all confused, Shawn. You're gonna have to give us something else. Marianne says she'd be surprised if Shuri isn't the Black Panther. She's definitely the odds-on favorite right now. All right, let's go to our next portion of We Told You So, which is Wonder Woman has moved.
Told you so.
Yeah, we've talked about this. I have consistently asked this question for about the last 3 or 4 weeks, which is Wonder Woman moving? Because that is the next big film. And after the receipts for Tenet came in, I suspected that the studios were not going to be happy with those numbers, and apparently they weren't, because Wonder Woman has been moved back to December 25th, Christmas, folks. And if Wonder Woman's moving back to December 25th, I think you can pretty much wipe out everything the rest of this year. I don't know any movie that they're going to spend $200 million on that they're going to be willing to take it in the shorts. And that's what you're talking about right now. Tenet just passed $200 million worldwide. Worldwide box office receipts are doing better than North America box office receipts. We're just not showing up to the theater. The first week of Tenet was $20 million. That is chump change. That is nothing for the United States. That is terrible. I did a little bit of research. The last Christopher Nolan science fiction movie that came out was Interstellar. It did $700 million in the life of while it was out in the movies. There is no way that Tenet is going to get anywhere near that. My estimate right now, just taking a shot at it, I'm going to say that it's going to clear about $400 million if they're lucky. If they're lucky, they're going to make about $400 million before they take it out of the theater. That is almost half of what Interstellar made. No movie studio is going to take half on a movie that they spent $200 million on. They're just not going to do it. So watch out, Black Widow. That's going to be the next one that moves. Mark my words. Black Widow's going to be gone. They just released another James Bond thing today. That's not coming out anytime soon. That's going to get moved. If Wonder Woman is moved back to December, don't hold your breath. I don't think that it's coming out in December, and I don't think Dune's coming out. That's my prediction. This year's a wash. And in addition to that, let's talk about something else that is not good for the movie industry, and that is Mulan is not pulling in the money that they expected. Disney released Mulan on Disney Plus for a $30 premium streaming fee. It was a huge and unprecedented risk. A film of its size, the budget is estimated to be around $200 million, has never been released straight to pay-per-view on demand before. And the decision to make it only available on Disney Plus as opposed to other video on demand sites like iTunes and Amazon raised some eyebrows. It appears that the risk may not have paid off. According to Deadline, rival industry sources who are knowledgeable in the PVOD markets do not believe that the live-action remake of the 1998 animated film earned impressive resales. So, if there is no respite, if Disney can't pull back and say, well, we're not going to put it in the theaters, but we're going to make oodles of money by putting it on Disney Plus for $30, and then that blows up in their face, what does the movie industry do?
Not that.
I'm not going to pay an extra $30 to stream Mulan early.
Right.
Sorry.
No,
Right.
no shot.
Not going to do it.
You're not into
Not $30. I mean, if you're going to do that, you might as well put it direct to video and sell it to me for $24, $24.99. I'll do that, but I'm not going to. No. $30 and I can't own a solid copy of it. No.
I'm
So
with
this
him
is
on this.
This
Nope.
is the We
Not
Told
gonna
You
do
So
it.
segment, and we've been talking about this for a while. Does anyone want to chime in on either them moving Wonder Woman and potentially some of these other movies, or the problem that they have with Mulan? What is the movie industry going to do? They can't make money right now. They can't film, and they can't make money.
There's so much involved with that.
I know.
That's a big one.
It's huge.
There's so many reasons.
If you like movies, it's huge.
I just think the Mulan $30 was a bit much.
It was way too much.
I pay $17 a month as it is for Disney Plus. I'm not paying an additional $30
Word.
just to stream Mulan. I'm not. I'm sorry.
Word.
Like,
Word.
I think it would be cheaper. Absolutely.
Not to mention that they announced that if you have Disney Plus, you're going to get Mulan in December.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. And that's way too close.
Right.
Yeah, no. So I didn't. I'll watch it in December.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm waiting till December.
Yeah, no.
Bad
Ken
move.
asked, do you think they'll move the release to release Tenet on pay-per-view? It's kind of too late to do that. I mean, the big reveal is already over. I think that Tenet is the canary in the coal mine. Unfortunately, they're gonna take it in the shorts on Tenet. Now, it will do probably pretty good once it gets to Blu-ray or when it gets to on demand or whatever, because everyone who didn't go to see it in the theaters are like, hey, I want to see this movie. So, look, no one's going to lose their job over this thing. But if you spent $200, if you spent $200 million on Wonder Woman 1984 and you're looking at Tenet's numbers, you're like, there's no way we're going to release that. There's no way. Because Wonder Woman is expecting 800 million to, maybe 1 billion plus on that. And there's no way they can make that in this market.
Well, they're not going to make that anyway, but that's neither here nor there. The thing
is the same woman who's playing Wonder Woman.
Yes, it is Gal Gadot. So rock and roll. I will concede. I did not think that they would move. Now that they had started releasing movies, I didn't think that they would move it back. The fact that they did move it back kind of shocked me a little bit. I do understand Warner Brothers. They saw the take home for Tenet, and they said, "Hold up now," since they've pretty much gotten rid of their DC EU at this point. They're not losing anything. They're not gaining anything by moving it back to hopefully get the most return out of that film. Now with Black Widow, I kind of wonder if they'll move that back or not, simply because that is the linchpin for the rest of the MCU that is sitting on a shelf, not making money.
Agreed.
You've got
everything else holds up, including all of the TV series on Disney Plus.
Right.
So that
are in the can, ready to go.
I don't think that they'll push that one back any further. They've got the Thanksgiving weekend that they could really push with its current release date, which then would open up the television series, more subscribers on Disney Plus. Then you're also going to get all of the rest of the films that are either in post-production or halfway through filming, that they're trying to schedule things around to get their actors in to continue filming and so on. I have a hard time believing that they're going to push Black Widow back further. You say, they don't want to lose $200 million, but they're not losing $200 million on Black Widow. They're losing possibly $10 billion on the entire MCU. So I kind of think that they're going to go ahead, move forward with Black Widow. I was wrong before. I could be wrong again, but
Disney
I don't
is
see it.
hemorrhaging. The one thing that speaks to that, Shawn, is Disney is hemorrhaging money right now. No one's going to the theme parks. The only thing that's working for them right now is Disney Plus,
which is why they need to
the
move
movies.
that.
I mean, I don't know if people are buying toys or whatever in the heck else it is that they're doing. But I mean, the theme parks is a huge deal. I mean, that is the bread and butter, and no one's going to those because
Disney World they are.
Backstreet Boys reunion tour.
Disney World's not doing too bad.
But just as you said, the Disney Plus is where they're making this. The theme parks is where they're making this. So I can't see them holding up all of this revenue for this one movie.
Right.
They might go ahead and release it during it's supposed to come out in early November
6th.
Okay, so at the very least, they might push it back to they might push it back to Thanksgiving weekend, maybe. And I would say probably that would be that they would push it because they have so much. Did we glitch? Because they have so much riding on its shoulders. They're going to have to move that one forward, I think.
Did you guys catch that, or did he glitch out?
He glitched out a little.
A little bit,
but I got the gist of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Rock and roll.
I'm with you there. I mean,
technology.
They can't hold it up, but then again, they also. I mean, this one right here, it's for Black Widow. It's a 50-50 shot.
It's
kind of total 50-50 watch.
It's one of those things where they felt like they could make some money on it, and it's one of those things that might potentially go north of $1 billion, potentially, probably not, but just not in this environment. Are they willing to walk away from that to get the rest of the thing going? I don't know. I don't know.
Let's pull out the dice. 20-sided dice.
I don't have dice on my desk.
Nothing.
Are we glitching?
Oh, now it's Dirk.
Nothing.
Uh-oh.
It is going to make $1 billion. Nothing.
Not this year. I doubt anything will make $1 billion next year.
I think we lost Dirk.
No, I think I'm still here.
Oh, there you go. You were like frozen for a few seconds.
Oh, that's good stuff. This is live. This is live, folks.
This is live. I'm monitoring on YouTube, and YouTube went out for a second.
Okay.
Nice.
Well,
and when I hit refresh, it came back on. So,
all right, fair enough. Marianne says that Mulan has some boycotting issues because they got very
wait. What happened?
Cozy with China.
Mulan had a lot of problems even before its release. I mean, the fact that it even came out at all is kind of surprising to me. But there again, I personally, I'm not into these live action remakes of all the animated films. So Mulan wasn't going to make a dime off of me to begin with. They had issues with China. They had issues with where they filmed in China. They had issues with some of the Chinese actors and their political views. There's just been a whole lot of BS going on around Mulan that this movie was not going to make any money. I mean,
I just
You
still
can-
don't think she should be a princess.
You can also throw in the people who really enjoyed the animated movie and wanted to see the little funny dragon, and there were people who were like, is it going to be Eddie Murphy voicing the dragon? I'm like, come on now. I mean, they're trying to make this more along the lines of the actual story. I get it, but you know,
But he was so funny.
right. We want it to be child friendly and everything, and not this PG-13 thing. So, you know,
both down like Gal Gadot.
I'm interested in seeing it simply because I'm a huge fan of Asian action cinema.
Same here.
To begin with, Donnie Yen is in this. How can I not see this?
Donnie Yen, exactly.
That's pretty cool.
Donnie Yen. Actually, a lot of if you're into Asian action cinema, a lot of your favorites are in this movie.
Right. So I've always planned on seeing it, but did I ever think that this movie was going to make any money? No, it came with too much baggage. And then leading up to its release, suddenly you had theaters boycotting the movie because it wasn't going to get released in theaters alongside the video release, or they were juggling whether or not they were going to do it, something to that effect. And then
all that hurt the movie too.
Yeah, there was way too much. There was way too much baggage going into this. There was no way for it to actually do anything. You know, live and learn. Okay, this failed. We see what we did wrong here. We've made all our check marks. We've wrote all this down. Don't do that on the next
again. Right. Don't do it again.
Any other thoughts on the state of the film industry? It's bad. It's bad.
It's bad this time.
It's not good.
It's going to recover. Everything's going to be fine.
It will eventually.
Just everybody do your best to avoid the Backstreet Boys reunion tour. You know,
I'm trying.
Do your part to avoid the Backstreet Boys as much as possible. That's all I can say.
That's right. What else can you say?
Backstreet should not be back.
Exactly.
All I'm saying.
All right.
All right.
Wow. We can't top that. So we're going to our next subject. All right. For CaseyJane, we're going to talk, because she's kind of an expert on this subject. We're going to talk about Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. They just released a trailer. If you haven't seen it, it's pretty cool, particularly if you were around in 1983, which was a little before CaseyJane's time. There's a lot.
8th grade.
I wasn't even a thought.
8th grade.
There are a lot of nods to popular culture and stuff that was happening in 1983. So if you're from that time or you're into that time, there's plenty of that sort of stuff going on with it. It's just a trailer; it's not gameplay, but
there's gameplay.
There is gameplay.
Gameplay has been, yes.
Well, not in
the trailer.
The initial trailer. It's a cinematic, but there have been released online gameplay.
Yes.
And it looks gorgeous.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to for context, and we're going to go to our expert, which is CaseyJane on this.
Finally, a topic where I'm like completely confident in. All right, so next Call of Duty is Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. It is a new Treyarch game. So if you guys don't know about Call of Duty, it is Activision, but every year it changes from different studios. So this year is Treyarch. From my opinion, it looks amazing. The gameplay is very vibrant, which is a nice change from Infinity Ward's gameplay, which is usually like, I don't want to say muddier tones, but that's kind of what it is. It's like the black, white, mauve kind of thing. So it looks very nice. It's vivid. Another thing with it is competitive side. We are back to 4v4, which has been a big change. So that's very good. And I had to touch on something else, and I can't remember what it was, and it's bothering me now that we're just talking about this. Oh, so from last Treyarch game, which is 2 years ago, which is Black Ops 4. Black Ops 4 was a huge flop. The game was released and wasn't finished. There were a lot of problems with it.
I remember that.
It was awful. The first few months was awful. It was completely unfinished. So I'm hoping this year we won't have that many problems.
So you say that was the same studio?
Yes, that was Treyarch.
Okay.
Treyarch makes the Black Ops
All
series.
right.
So hopefully this year they've like sorted all of that out. And yeah, so it is cross-platform, cross-generation, which is good. Which
That's
means
cool.
there's no need to buy a PS5. Just putting that out there.
Right.
So that's good. So taking big steps. And then Warzone is integrated into it as well. So Warzone is free to download and play. And that's integrated already. So I think it's going to be really fun. I'm really looking forward to it. And the gameplay, a few people, bigger streamers got to play an early access version of it to be able to stream and promote. And I'm very excited about it. I have high hopes.
Hey, CaseyJane, tell us a little bit about what your background is and some of your awards or whatever with Call of Duty.
Oh God, I'm just a streamer and I'm friends with a bunch of the pro players. So that's really how much that goes.
But you love the game and you play it seriously.
Yes. So I started out in the zombies community actually, which was with Treyarch with the original storyline. And that's another thing is zombies got teased within the trailer, which is awesome because everyone thought we weren't getting zombies anymore because the storyline had ended. So the Ether storyline, which has spanned over 10 years at this point, came to an end in Black Ops 4, and everyone was upset about it. But now we just got a trailer, and it was like a 15-second clip to say that zombies was back. So it's very exciting from like anyone. If you're multiplayer Warzone or zombies, like they like made the points for everything.
Very cool. All right, Walt, we're going to you. What do you think about? Did you see the trailer?
I haven't seen the trailer, and I'm not much of a first-person shooter guy.
Right.
I think the only Call of Duty game I've ever played was the first one, which was, I think, World War II.
World at War.
Wow, yeah.
World War II years ago.
Yeah, like way back, like the very first one.
Right.
So I'm not that familiar with any of the newer ones. I like watching. Like sometimes I'll see people playing on Twitch, and I'll just turn it on and I'll watch. I'll just sit there and watch and watch people go at it. I don't know what I'm watching, but it looks cool.
All right, good deal. Shawn, what about you, man?
I'm like Walt. I'm not a huge first person shooter player. It's never been my thing, which is kind of hilarious being that I love Halo. I love Halo.
That's a great opinion.
But it's just never been my. What are you doing?
Kitty. She wants pizza rolls.
She's just walking around.
She wants what?
She wants pizza rolls.
Oh, pizza rolls.
She might. I don't know.
She does dig the pizza rolls.
So as far as the game itself, I've not played. I think I played Modern Warfare. I might have played Modern Warfare 2. I don't remember. It's not a franchise that I'm all that familiar with. With that being said, I did watch the trailer. Anytime you put Ronald Reagan in something, you got my vote. I've always dug that guy. Now, if Ronald Reagan is carrying like a rocket launcher and shooting terrorists or something, that would be hilarious, and I would love to watch that. But that's just the 80s geek in me. As far as the graphics and whatnot, it looks fantastic. I watched a little bit of gameplay right before the show, and it looked really, really interesting. Is it something that I'll go out and buy? I can't really say I will watch like Walt. I'll probably watch some Twitch play or something on YouTube. I follow a lot of gamers, and I'm sure they'll be playing the heck out of it. So I'll probably catch it like that just to kind of get a feel. And who knows? I might if I catch a mood, I might say, all right, I'll take a dip in that pool, see what I think. But overall, it looks beautiful. It's if that's your shtick, right. I think you'll be very happy with it.
It's been a while since I've played Call of Duty. I've played several versions of it. I like first person shooters. Okay. The issue that I don't do a lot of PvP stuff. There's a few exceptions to that, but I am big on the like storylines. So if you have a really great storyline campaign where I can go through and follow the story and be the hero of that sort of thing, I really like it. Call of Duty kind of, I mean, in my experience, kind of does that, but as kind of an afterthought. It's not the primary deal, and I'd much rather support something where it is the primary thing. What is it? Battlefront. I have played a lot of Battlefront, which is a first-person shooter, and I played player versus player on that, and I have enjoyed that. So, with the right campaign, and it might be this one set in the Cold War. That's pretty cool. 1983. I like that. That might be interesting enough for me to check this one out. They're set in Miami, which if you are from the 80s, then you know why they set it in Miami, because of Miami Vice. So there's definitely they have some nods there. I think that's interesting, and I like the Duran Duran soundtrack. That's pretty cool.
That's
so
great.
Yeah, so they do have some nice little nods.
Her name is Rio, and
that's
dances
not the
on
one they used.
sand. I know, but
That's
that's the first song that came to my mind.
Right. Okay.
See, it's always Hungry Like a Wolf for me.
Hungry Like the Wolf.
That's always second.
Hey, there's Ronnie.
Hi, guys.
Ronnie is watching.
I think campaign will be good though, because usually Treyarch campaigns are better.
Yeah, tell me about it. Sell me on that.
I can't tell you. I don't know what the campaign is. I know they're bringing back a lot of old characters, like the Masons are back. But if you don't play it, you don't know who they are. But those like the most like iconic. Like,
but you say that they are going to have a storyline portion, and that it could potentially be good.
Yes.
All right.
Treyarch is known for having better the campaigns than Infinity Ward and Sledgehammer.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
so.
I'm interested.
You can watch me play it on stream and decide for yourself.
There you go. Where would they look for that there, CaseyJane?
Twitch.tv/LittleMissFury.
There you go. All right. Well, we are, unless anyone has anything else to say about this.
In Vaughn we trust. That's all.
All right. Well, we have a special guest that's going to pop in here. And so without further ado, here he is.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
I mean, is he really a guest, or is he just
is he really special?
Of course he is.
I'm definitely special.
He's not special.
What's up, guys?
So you are not. When I pictured this, I thought you would be on the road, or maybe you would be at the destination. But you're just at your old spot. You're just like home.
I don't know where the miscommunication happened, but I actually had to work my real job.
This is not exciting.
I know. There is stuff packed on the floor. I'm leaving tomorrow morning. So then I'm Chicago bound to hopefully, if we try some experimental stuff, I might have some reports from the Blood Bowl Chaos Cup that's in Chicago. It's one of the world's 5 major tournaments if you're in the Blood Bowl scene for competitive Blood Bowl on tabletop. So hopefully maybe like Friday night or even Sunday I can give a report on like how things are going up in Chicago. So it's all going to be weird. So
you are heading out when? For this event?
Tomorrow morning.
Yep. And then you said that you might are we going to try to do a live broadcast from Chicago?
let's be really honest, Dirk. We don't really know what we're doing. So maybe
Don't say that.
Okay, we know exactly.
I told them you were on assignment. I set this up so great.
Oh, sorry. You need to communicate to me.
You are effing not on assignment. You're in your damn house.
All right, everybody. This is not my house. This is like a virtual reality room.
Hey, I'm gonna.
It's actually a green screen.
I'm gonna
built
save
this
you.
up
I'm gonna
so
save
well.
you on this. I'm gonna save you on this, Scott.
Thank you, Walt.
You're in your staging area
I am
for
I'm
your
staging.
assignment.
Right.
You're staging for your assignment right
He's
now.
actually a hologram.
Right. I'm glitching.
Nice. We've got a comment here. Ronnie says we should always have a 5-person panel. We tried that and everyone bitched about it. It's too many people. I don't know what to do. I don't know who to follow.
Ronnie?
Everyone's too small.
Everyone's defense, I'm already half a person.
We heard so much bitching about 5 people.
If we
could
do
5
that,
people
Ronnie,
every week.
if we did that, Ronnie, we'd have to have like only 2 questions because me and Shawn, we have the gift of gab, so we'd talk forever.
They pontificate.
Well, there you go, big word man.
That sounds like another word that'll get you demonetized.
It might. It might.
You made Shawn mad by saying pontificate.
Of course I did. Of course
You made me mad too.
Wow. We're losing viewers.
Hold up, I got
For some reason now I keep thinking about In Living Color, the guy who would speculate upon the fornication of the flatulence of the effervescence.
I
decided heavy breathing again.
Yeah.
What I started doing. Wow. What I used to do is not say the big words, and then it tripped me up because I was trying to think of another word besides the big word that was in my head. And what I finally decided is that I was just going to say the big word because otherwise I stutter and it's ridiculous.
We have a scholar, everyone.
That's okay. You can talk above us, and I will, we'll be the common man. Okay.
So we are going to try to either record, like what do you want to do on Friday night? You're going to do an interview?
Okay, so just so everybody knows, normally this is an event that hosts close to 100 people, and people from like Europe fly over because this is like a big deal if you
That's
play
incredible.
Blood Bowl.
For Blood Bowl, that's incredible.
There's 5 big majors. One of them's in England. One of them's in England is called the NAF Championship, the NAF Championship. Germany is the Dungeon Bowl. Chicago has the Chaos Cup, and Canada has what's called the Spike Cup. And then there's one somewhere else. I can't remember if that's Spain or if that's Australia, but I think it's Spain, but don't quote me on that. There's these big tournaments. They count for like double points for your like ranking system and stuff. Cause there's a Blood Bowl ranking system. If I play like a new guy and I beat him and I'm supposed to beat him, my ranking will only go up a little bit. And then while other people's, if I upset somebody that's really good, has a high ranking, my ranking can go way up. So, and they rank, what's up?
Do you have a ranking?
Everybody has a ranking. It just depends how you want to. I mean, you have to be part of the NAF to be in the ranking system, and all tournaments usually require your ID, which is
the National Association of Floops.
There you are with the floops again. What was it?
Golly, you're putting me on the spot to try to remember what that
is.
Oh boy, it stands for something in the Blood Bowl fluff.
It's very important.
I think it's National Amorical Football, if I remember correctly, or Blood Bowl.
I like my name better.
It's all right. Most tournaments, you just have you get an ID, you get some dice for Senate, joining the NAF, and it's like a $5 entry, and you're in for life. So most everybody joins at least one time. To make a long story short, you can toggle if you care. You can see where you rank amongst like everybody in the world by race. If you want to see a specific race, like I believe I'm second in the country, in the U.S. country, when it comes to playing vampire teams, for example. That doesn't necessarily mean I'm a good coach. That just means like maybe a lot of people don't choose to play vampires over and over again to get maybe a high ranking. But I'm also not a bad coach either. So I'm not great, but I'm not like I'm not your best guy in the world.
He's a humble king.
Nuffle, Amorical football.
There, Nuffle. That's what it is.
Say it, Nuffle.
Nuffle.
I don't
It
like
is
that.
not too far off of what I said.
Well, Nuffle is
you know what?
So here we go. So when the dwarves and the orcs find the old relics of the old world,
The NFL.
the NFL, they just say Nuffle because they just see NFL and they don't say NFL. They pronounce it Nuffle. And so usually we Nuffle into the mean for when you re-roll a dice and you still roll crappy, you're like, damn Nuffle and everything else. So you cuss about that at all. Oh, I stand corrected. I'm third in the nation of the United States with vampires because one of the great players in the United States, Brian 2, has surpassed me. So
What about Brian 1?
That sucker. Anyways, it's
Ronnie says if you pontificate, you're going to clean it up.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. I don't even know what that means.
And Murphy says, I've heard Scott's pretty rank.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Made myself laugh.
I'm trying to educate you guys. Anyways, this is a big event. This year they're limiting to, I think, 74 people. They're capping it, and they're really close to being at full capacity. It's an event that it's going to be a lot different with all these masks and stuff because the guy who's running it, Jeff Gallenbach, is like, he's being pretty militant on this is not a democracy. You will wear your mask at all times. And if you do not like this, or you can't breathe because of it, or your rights are violated, stay home. So we're going to see if we can have a big, giant gaming tournament and be safe and nobody come home with the con crud.
Right. You can criticize that, but you certainly don't want to have that happen and then ruin the whole thing for everyone, because if that does happen, it's going to, be a catastrophe. So, if that's what you have to do to make the thing happen, then
sure. So,
say la vie.
Leave the Backstreet Boys at home.
Yeah, exactly. You were saying what might we record?
Yeah.
Friday night, there's a different variant of Blood Bowl called Sevens. It's going to be run by James Luft and Brian 2. That's just for the guys who are already in town away from their wives and families who want to they can't, 6 games of hardcore, heavy competitive Blood Bowl's not enough. Let's cram 3 more in on Friday night. So it's a separate tournament, a variation. At this moment, I think I'm going to play in
so
it
insane.
For the first time. I've never played in these in the past. So maybe if things go well and me and Dirk can figure this out, we might do a little live streaming, maybe with the winner or something like that. Have a little quick interview, but no promises until we know it works. So, and then maybe
Friday night, like you said, around 10 p.m. Central.
Yeah, the tournament's supposed to be over around 10. So hopefully we can talk to somebody between 10 and 11, and maybe Sunday. It just depends. Usually Sunday, like they hand out the awards and then people scatter, like rats on a sinking ship because they're all trying to get home. And hopefully I can maybe catch some of the guys who win the thing and give them a quick little interview or a shout out or something like that. But we'll give it a try.
That'd be fun.
We'll see what we can do. Maybe even Saturday if I'm not too stressed out. I've already lost a couple of games and know I can't win it. Maybe I'll turn on the phone and see what I can record and show the world a little bit of the inside of like a Backstreet Boys reunion tour tournament in the current age of gaming.
Yeah.
So.
Do you want to talk about who you're going with, or is that verboten?
No, I'm going with Robert Henry from Ranking Studios and Gary Brown, 2 of my oldest friends. We've known Robert since. Gary
is a perennial regular on the show.
Yeah, he watches quite often.
Chimes in.
Yeah. 2 of my oldest friends.
Like I do.
I've known these guys. I know, I'm 46 and I've known Robert since we've been close friends since 6th grade, and I've known Robert since 8th grade. So, I mean, I have over 30 years invested in these guys. So they know me probably better than a lot of other people, unfortunately. So,
yeah. All right. Well, if that is it, Scott, do you want to stick around? I mean, Ronnie wants you to stick around.
Well, of course Ronnie does. That's why I'm here. Ronnie actually called me up and said, you have to get on the show. You have to save it. CaseyJane is not enough. You have to go help those boys. And I'm like, oh,
I feel like
you did. Look what you did.
I feel like if anyone's not enough, it's probably not CaseyJane.
All right, I'm used to people telling me that.
No. Ronnie meant that she can't save the show alone. That's what Ronnie meant.
Wow.
She needs me to
Shame
come
on
help
Ronnie for
her
saying that.
to bail Dirk, Walt.
Where's my shovel? Where's that shovel?
Let's continue on with the segments. Let's go.
Is it getting deep over
I'll
there?
just be cool.
Oh, come on. You know what I meant. Get out of here.
So okay. Anyway, here's our next segment. Hey, you showed up for the coolest part, which is on Blast, where we talk about some stuff that we dig.
That might be by design.
If we dig it, we talk about it. We're first going to Walt.
All right, cool. I have two things because I'm a big, huge DVD buyer. Every weekend I buy DVDs, at least 2. So
what?
So this past weekend, walking through the DVD section, I ran across the Mortal Kombat Legacy. If you don't know what this is, back in 2011, way back in 2011.
That's a web series, isn't it?
They tried to make a reboot of Mortal Kombat with this teaser. It was like a 9-part short story. Like each episode was like 10 minutes long, and it was a web series.
Is that with Michael Jai White?
It's with Michael Jai White and Jerry Ryan.
Fantastic.
Oh, Jerry Ryan.
Yeah.
Hello.
She was Sonya Blade.
Nice.
And,
interesting.
It was an awesome little series, and I think this is the first time it's been put on DVD. So it's a long time coming for this to be on DVD. So I picked this little thing up. If you see it or rent it or anything, watch it. You'll enjoy it, and then you'll be PO'd because it leaves you hanging. This was supposed to have been a lead up to a possible series of movies that never happened. So I can't remember off the top of my head who the director and writer, but it was an excellent little series. Excellent. So I highly recommend it.
Wow.
The other thing that I got was
how much material is there, Walt?
It's 9 episodes, and the episodes run about 10 minutes each. So
all right.
So it's really short. You can watch it, right when you're starting to get into it, you're like, oh man, come on. Cool. So, but the other DVD I bought was, as you know, DC ended their animated movie series with the movies based off of the New 52 or whatever, which we should do a whole show on that because I've watched all of those movies.
Have you?
And I've got opinions.
Okay.
I've got opinions.
Because I will say that
I've watched a few of those.
Most of those movies are excellent.
Yeah.
The last one is both excellent and crappy.
Interesting.
Yes. It's both excellent and crappy.
I'm intrigued.
So, but as you know, they're basically rebooting their animated universe, the movie universe. So I picked up Superman, Man of Tomorrow.
Okay.
And excellent. The new animation style is...
That's what I want to hear about because I'm always a little nonplussed with their animation style.
Yeah, the animation style from the last series of movies, from the last, I guess I don't want to say it's 22 movies, was very anime inspired. This one has an anime feel, but it also has an American feel, like how the old, like back in the day when we were watching G.I. Joe and Transformers, where you knew it was anime, but the characters didn't look anime. They weren't actually drawn so much anime. They had that American feel to it.
Right.
There's a lot of drawing style going on with this, where thick and thin lines. The outline of the characters are very thick. So it's really nice. The story is solid. It's of course, they always do a different take. So this is basically an origin story of Superman. There's some little nuggets in there of other heroes and whatnot. I'm not gonna give too much about it, because I could go on and I would end up spoiling this movie for you. I just highly recommend it.
I have a question for you. I believe that is that an Alan Moore story? Is that an adaptation of an Alan Moore story?
It is. I don't think it's an adaptation of anything, personally.
Because I'd swear that he wrote a story called The Man of Tomorrow about
there was
a story called Man of Tomorrow. This is basically this is an origin story. I said I didn't want to give too much away, but if you look at this cover, if I can get the glare off of it, you can see who that is riding around in the background.
All right.
Wow.
Oh,
they got Lobo there.
Yeah. Sean didn't see that, but I'm sure he'd be interested in that. He digs Lobo.
The Superman outfit is based off of the current Superman outfit in the comics now.
Okay.
I do believe. I think so.
Does he not have a belt or something?
Oh, he's got the belt. He's got the red trunks and everything, but we've got oversaturation of the S symbol. So the belt buckle is the S symbol, as well as the S symbol on his chest.
Wow. Okay. So that's a lot of S.
That's a lot of S, and I think there's the S symbol on the back of the cape, if I recall. But anyway,
I like a lot of S.
But
oh my!
But I highly recommend it. If you see it, it's probably going to be streaming or on demand right now on Amazon or any of your cable services.
Yeah.
If you see it in the store and you're contemplating whether or not you want to spend that extra money to buy it, buy it. I buy all of the DC animated movies anyway. So.
All right, cool.
Walt, I have two things for you.
What's
Grab that star screen behind you. I want to see it. Put that up in the camera. Some of us don't get toys too often.
Well,
we're always buying comics. That is awesome.
This is a model kit.
Oh, that's one. Is that the model kit?
That's the model kit.
Wow.
This is when I was on furlough for 7 weeks. This is what I spent my time putting together.
I've looked at that model kit before then. So that's pretty awesome. So.
It's a pretty awesome kit. I actually wish that I had paints, because there's some things that I would have loved to have done to this. Mm-hmm. But Amazon Prime was going to take too long to send me the paints, because PPE was more important at the time, right. Which I don't blame them. So, but I went ahead and put it together.
All right, last thing, Walt. How does it feel to live in the Dallas area and yet you still wear that Golden Knights hat?
How's it? Hey, I don't feel bad at all.
How are you a fan of the Golden Knights anyways when you've lived in Dallas for so long?
I'm not upset at all, because I both like the Stars and the Knights. I like the Knights because that's just
the logo.
That logo is badass.
I must know. Are you a Cowboys fan?
No.
Thank God. Okay.
That's why we let him on the show, CaseyJane.
No.
Otherwise, he's not allowed.
In fact, CaseyJane, just to let you know, I waited 50 years for the Chiefs to give me another Super Bowl win. I was 4 months old when they had their first Super Bowl win. So I waited 50 years for another Super Bowl.
Sorry, I just
Fair.
hate the Cowboys so much.
I'm
You're
in
in
the heart of the
like-minded
Cowboys.
company. Yeah,
So-
we all have.
All right, I'm going to CaseyJane next.
What have
We're
I been?
doing on Blast. What are you watching, or reading, or playing?
My nursing textbooks.
Okay, that sounds really exciting.
And Winter Soldier. Let's legitimately is I'm reading my
Hey.
textbooks because grad school is awful.
Hey, the Winter Soldier is legit.
It was so
Yeah.
good. It was
Tell-
so good.
Tell us about since you're going through the Marvel Cinematic Universe. What are your thoughts on the Winter Soldier?
I really liked it. I'm still not a big Cap fan. I'm sorry. I know that possibly is blasphemy, but it was still good.
I wasn't either, but I'll tell you right now that Captain America will grow on you as you watch these movies.
Oh, that's what Brandon keeps saying, but no.
Hey,
just wait.
I
Just
went
wait.
in.
I like Iron Man.
By the final Avengers film, you're going to be screaming at the top of your lungs
Yes,
Oh,
you
no.
are.
for Captain
no.
America. I'm telling you. And by the way, so there was a little news on Captain America. Here, can we talk? We can't really talk about that.
Well, it depends on. Should you use
CaseyJane,
little
do you?
in the title?
Define
Oh,
new.
okay.
Is it if
Maybe I should say there's some big news on Captain America.
I don't know.
is
honestly,
he not reprising the role?
That's
Oh, no.
not the news.
Oh,
He's
then
not.
I probably shouldn't know because I know that Iron Man he's not reprising the role,
No,
and
he's
I'm
done.
upset about it.
Actually,
Robert
he
Downey
is.
Jr. is not.
Actually, he is reprising the role, but for What If?
I was going to say,
What is that?
Chris Evans is also going to reprise the role as Captain America in What If.
Yeah.
What if?
Okay, so
On Disney. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
if we tell you what If is, we're gonna give you a major spoiler. So we can't tell
Don't
you.
tell
what
me.
Yeah,
What
you
If is.
kind of have
Okay.
to.
Yeah, please.
Here it
don't-
is. Here it is, CaseyJane. What If is an old comic book where they took stories
There
from
you
the
go.
Marvel Universe. And let's say, what if Spider-Man was never bitten by a radioactive spider? Like, what would happen? Would he still...
Oh.
Would fate still decide he's going to be maybe a police hero versus a
Right.
superhero or stuff like that? It's all these things, like what if Doctor Doom led the Fantastic Four?
There's
Right.
It's an old series from like maybe even started. I don't know exactly when it started. I know it went through the 70s
I
for
want to say
sure.
the 70s. Yeah.
They brought it back in the 90s, and every now and then they do like one shots
yeah.
and stuff. And it's just like a make believe. We can do now what the hell we want because we can.
Right.
Like what if
Fair
Pepper
enough.
Potts was the Iron Man, and then that's what the story is.
it's
I love
actually
Pepper.
it's actually kind of an inspiration for the Marvel Zombie series, where there's a universe where everybody's a zombie, basically. So
Oh, great. We're getting Walking Dead again. Here we go.
Let's hope not.
So Disney Plus is releasing an animated What If line of animated shows. So there's going to be an Iron Man What If.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a Captain America. I believe that one actually includes zombies, if I remember right. There's going to be just a bunch of What If stories released on Disney Plus, animated, but the actors Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans are going to reprise their roles in voice as opposed to.
Ah, that's good enough for me then. I love Robert Downey Jr. so much.
Let's cover a few before I go to the next person. CaseyJane, were you done? Did you do
Oh,
your?
that's it. Oh yeah, no,
Okay.
I've been studying. I hate
All
school.
right.
I don't have time.
Ronnie says he was doing laundry. Did Walt say what's on his shirt?
Well, that's Black Panther.
Yeah, it's a spoof on the old Olympics thing from way back.
Oh yes.
So we have the Black Panther.
I
Iron
remember
Man.
that. Right.
Yeah. So I bought this on I think it was Ripped Apparel.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah.
And every once in a while, I've actually seen them bring this shirt back from the grave to resell it again.
And notice
Right.
Iron Man is above Cap. Just putting that out there. You're welcome, everyone.
so yeah, I bought this about 2 years ago. This was actually longer than that. It was right around the time Civil War came out. The movie Civil War came out is when I bought this. Saw it on there. It was on sale for 24 hours. Paid $13. Got it in 3 days. Yeah.
Pretty cool. Ronnie says, "Nice, Walt. I got to get through these other people." Jim is not happy that you don't like Captain America.
I said what I said.
I believe that means suck it, Jim. That's
Murphy says his role was reprised for all to see. I'm not sure what he's talking about. Can you guys?
Hey, Ronnie, don't go to that website that Walt's buying the cool shirts from because they don't make them in big guy size.
Yes,
Walt can wear them.
Wow.
Yes.
No, they don't.
Yes,
they do.
Okay, I've ordered one before, and you wash it one time, and it shrinks, and it's like.
Well, then you got a crappy shirt. I think this one that I'm wearing currently is from Ripped Apparel. So
it's
maybe you should get a
What's
bigger
on your
size.
shirt?
Not for husky guys.
That's definitely a Cowboy Bebop shirt.
that is a
I
Cowboy
can
Bebop.
see.
I noticed that one from way back across the room over here.
Sean has an impressive collection of shirts from places like that. He single-handedly is keeping them in business. Ronnie says, no 5XL talls.
Actually, I believe they do.
Maybe not.
I believe Ripped Apparel does go up to 5 and possibly 6X.
Murphy's
Wait.
getting at what I was hinting at, which is Cap's dirty picks. We should probably
What?
steer.
Apparently,
we should
there was
probably steer away
Hold
from
up.
that.
Chris Evans, hold up.
yeah.
Sean,
Hold
you want to take this?
I'm on Google.
No, I don't want to touch it.
Can you,
Someone tell me what to Google.
Just
Google.
Google it yourself.
Chris
Google-
Evans photo leaks. Try that.
Yeah, that's good.
Thank you.
Mhm.
It's not for kids, not for kiddies.
kids.
Not
Good thing
for
I'm
kids.
only the height of a child.
Oh, by the way, one of my friends used to be neighbors of Chris Evans in Boston.
Nice.
Just want to bring that up.
Really?
Yep.
I dig that.
Oh.
Oh, geez.
Now
Whoa.
she's interested. Now she's a Captain America fan.
I wasn't expecting that.
Oh my goodness! You can see that red all the way over here.
Yeah, look
as
at this.
bright as that
Let's
NWO
get this on
sign-
blast.
As bright as that
Here we go.
NWO
Let's-
sign behind
Let's
her.
go back to this on blast.
Oh, she's
I wasn't expecting that.
Here we go.
she's radiating right now. Look at that.
Oh my goodness!
Holy
That's
jeez.
hilarious.
So what's your first opinion there?
Nothing. I plead the fifth.
What have you seen lately, CaseyJane? Tell us all about it. Wow.
My glasses are fogging. I'm crying from laughing.
Wow.
Sorry,
Oh,
Chris.
my goodness.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
but then we start crying from laughing. Stop! I'm taking the.
We're going to Scott next.
Thank you.
Hey, all right, we're talking about. No, here we go.
Fun
I wanted to talk about a few comics that I was going to try to do a prime review for and just ran out of time with a busy week. This one is called "We Only Find Them When They're Dead," which is a terribly long title that I did not want to pick up this book at all. Brian Alcorn from Wizards told me I should really try it. He thought it'd be a great thing to review. So I'm going to give the short version here to you guys. It's by Boom Studios. It's done by Al Ewing, who just did the big Empire crossover over at Marvel and several other things at Marvel. The artist is like, I think you probably pronounce it. It looks like Simon with an E. So maybe Simone DeMio. I'm probably not pronouncing it correct. It is a male artist. It is a sci-fi book. I kind of don't want to ruin too much of it, but like when I read this, I get the feeling of like the Love, Sex and Robots, Love, Death and Robots series that was on
Right.
Netflix.
Yep.
It just feels like a story that would be in that kind of vein,
Wow.
you know,
that
and
sounds great.
you get a taste of it at first. Once again, I hated the big title because I hate when comics do that. There's another one called like There's Something Killing the Children comic out. And it's like, why do we have these long titles? You know,
Anime is doing that like crazy right now.
so anyways, We Only Find Them When They're Dead It's out now. It's been out for like now almost 2 weeks. Boom Studios. Give it a shot. Jennifer read this as well. My girlfriend, she thought it was, she first saw it was like science fiction. She was like, oh, I don't know if I want to read this. I told her to give it a shot. And by the end of it, she's like, cool, you're getting the second issue. So there you go. There's that one. More on the local front of some sort. This is Terminal by Foreign Press is who it's by. This is an independent comic, obviously. This gentleman who dropped this off at Wizards brought it into the store, gave him a copy and said, hey, give this a shot, read it, see what you think. You can try to sell it. He said, I wrote it. He said, I drew it. He said, I'm not a good artist, so that's why the art looks crappy. That's what he said to us. I took it home to read it because I wanted to find out, because if the guy drove in to Norman, Oklahoma, he can't be too far away. So this is done by Kyler Merrill with colors by Denardi is who it says. This was a really cool one-shot little story. And despite the art, it is colored. And it might not be like, it's not Jim Lee or Dale Keown or anything like that. It has really actually good storytelling. So, but I guess you'd almost expect that if the writer got to actually write or draw exactly what he was trying to show in his, story, it might have a really good storytelling feel to it. So I actually enjoyed this book. It's over on, they have a website like foreignpress.com or something like that. You can order it. I saw it over at Amazon for only $3. So if you want to support a little local kind of guy, there it is, foreignpress right there.com.
There you go. That's good.
Give him a holler. Tell him, get the book. Again, the art's not flashy or nothing, but I was really, really impressed with the storytelling. So sometimes storytelling beats good art, right? So pick up Terminal, give it a shot.
Cool. Shawn, we're going to you.
With the release of the Dune trailer last week, I've been inspired. I don't know how many times I've watched that trailer, trying to dissect it, trying to pull from it every little tidbit of information that I could. And basically what it did was it made me want to read the book again. So what I did was I had the Audible version of the book, and I've been listening to that at work, and I am roughly, based on the trailer, to the end of the trailer, or what I perceive to be the first half of the story per the movie. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Okay.
I got it. It's because the new Dune movie is going to be 2 movies for that book.
Right. And I'm in the Audible play of that book. I am right about where I think the movie will end.
And is it about halfway through?
Roughly.
Okay.
It's roughly there. I didn't check the actual time, so I'm not sure. But
tell people what you think is the break-off point. I think it's pretty valid.
If you know the story, this will make sense. If you don't know the story, then I'm just a gibbering idiot. In the book, our hero Paul Atreides, he will take on a new personality, a new moniker, as it were, and he will be given this moniker by the people of the planet Dune, and I think that's kind of where it's going to be. The people are called the Fremen. They're going to give him this title, this name, this character name, and that, I believe, is where we're going to see this movie end, and then obviously the second part will be just where everything goes to hell in a handbasket, and our hero rises up to possibly defeat evil, maybe become evil, don't know. Anyway, so like I said, so far it's it's been a really it's been a fun ride. I haven't read Dune in years, so there were a lot of things that were kind of fuzzy in my head watching the trailer. They were kind of sparking some memories, and I really wanted to kind of refresh my memory on the story and see how well they translated it. And from what I can see, they're doing a magnificent job, just from what I can see in the trailer. And some of the things that I had remembered incorrectly. So that even gives me hope on some of the characters, maybe not having an end in this film, possibly seeing them further on down the line. Who knows? Second thing I wanted to talk about was a book that I had gotten on Kickstarter. I'd actually purchased the digital version of this book on Kickstarter, and Scott was kind enough to actually order a bunch of hard copies of this book on Kickstarter, which I picked up my version. I'd actually haven't messed with the hard copy. I've been playing around with the digital copy, and what it is a 90-day workbook called Cognitive Drawing for dadgum your reflection.
That's
called
good.
Cognitive Drawing by Jason Brubaker. It's I'm a huge fan of learning to draw books. Any instructional book that can help you learn how to illustrate more comfortably and more proficiently. In this book, it is designed to try to, not with so many words, but to physically draw, teach you muscle memory, teach you just how to responsively illustrate appropriately for your style. And I'm really looking forward. Like I said, I started playing around with some of the exercises digitally from my digital copy. I have not played with the hard copy, but I'm looking forward to doing that as well. Cognitive Drawing by Jason Brubaker. If you get an opportunity, if you're into drawing, I highly recommend, at the very least, taking a look at it and seeing what you think.
Cool. All right. Well, if I told you about a DC movie that was directed by a guy who was pretty serious, like took a little bit more serious tone, and about 90% through the movie, he was pulled by the executives because they didn't like what he was seeing, and they put in charge someone who was going to make a lighter, more funny movie. You might be thinking that I'm talking about a recent version of like Justice League. But long before that, back in the olden days, they did the exact same thing. Warner Brothers did the exact same thing with Superman 2. Superman 2 was directed originally by Richard Donner. And Richard Donner did about 90% of the movie, and then they pulled him because they didn't like what he was doing. And they put a guy named Richard Lester in charge of that movie. And Richard Lester added a bunch of super funny moments and stupid stuff, like Superman grabbing the S on his chest and throwing it at the Zod or whatever, and a bunch of other silly things. So we got Superman 2 by Richard Lester instead of Richard Donner. Well, in 2006, when they were doing the Superman Returns movie and they were looking for Marlon Brando footage for that movie, they got clearance from the people who were in charge of him, and his estate, and they in that deal they got the footage so that Richard Donner could do his own original version of Superman 2, and that is called Superman 2: The Donner Cut, and that's what I watched over the weekend. If you have seen Superman 2, I can say that the Donner Cut is superior to the version that you've seen in the theater. It is a little bit more serious. It changes. It focuses on some things that they didn't in the theatrical version. It has an entirely different ending to it. There are scenes that are a lot longer than, like interesting scenes that are longer. Some of the fight scenes, there's less fight scenes actually than in the theatrical version, which is probably why the studio wanted more action or whatever. There's less funny stuff and a little bit more romance between Lois and Superman. I would say that it's superior, except at the very end of the movie, they do something that drives me absolutely bonkers.
Did he have a bad day and just reverse time?
I'm not saying that he didn't do that.
Shit.
Again.
You cursed.
I did, because that's the dumbest thing ever. Every day Superman wakes up and he has a bad day and he goes, screw it, I'm just going to reverse time.
I would do that too if I was in that position, to be honest.
So loud, man.
It deserves to be loud. Matter of fact, if I could turn the world back, I'd go back and punch them and tear up their script in front of their face for even suggesting that.
He earned his crown back.
They did the same thing twice. He went back to that well twice. So he had a superior version of the story. It was much more interesting, a lot better dialogue. They cut out all the silly stuff like people getting ice cream cones in the face and all kinds of, stupid stuff. It had a lot more Marlon Brando in it. Very interesting. But yeah, they kind of, it has a poison pill at the end, which is not so cool.
I have that copy myself, and you are absolutely correct. You're
I just hate that they even thought that was a great idea. That Superman could have some bad Thai food and shart his pants, and he just reverses it so he doesn't have to worry about changing him and going through the embarrassment of it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
I hated that as a child.
I did too.
That's how much it bothered me.
I did too. You got to remember
tell us how you really feel.
Back in those days, in the 70s and 80s, you took superhero movies as they came. I mean, you were lucky.
We bought underoos. We bought underoos. I was fat little kid Superman and trying to wear those around.
I was fat little kid Spider-Man. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, it is a superior version, but it does have that problem again, unfortunately. And looking back on it also, one thing that really drives me nuts is I think that, they really miss Superman in one particular thing, because in the middle of the movie, it happens in both movies, Superman decides that he's going to give up his superpowers so that he can hang out with Lois Lane. And then he goes into a truck stop and some jerk beats the heck out of Clark Kent because he no longer has powers. And then Clark Kent kind of gets shaky and he's kind of a weak dude. I think they really missed the point of Superman, even back then, which is Superman is not Superman because of his powers. Superman is Superman because he had really great parents that taught him about responsibility, sticking up for the small guy, and everything else. And even if Superman gets a bloody nose, he's not going to turn into a wimp. He's going to say, you know what? This guy is a bully and I'm not having it. I'm effing Superman, even without the powers. And he's going to jump back up and he's going to beat the tar out of that jerk. And so I think they really missed the point there. And one final thing.
Can I get an amen from the congregation?
Amen. Amen.
Thank you. And one final thing. If you're Superman, don't ever give it up for a chick.
Amen to that.
I can't say what that word.
That's ridiculous.
Say what that is.
That's ridiculous. I mean, for two reasons. Number one, she liked him because he was Superman. So, that's no good. And
so she's a hoe.
And in addition to that, it's like Jor-El, his dad, says, "Oh, you can't date Earth chicks and have these powers. You can't do it." You tell dad, who's not, you say, "I'm going to do my own thing here. You're not even alive."
We're talking about Superman
Hooper,
as they say,
Dad, you can't tell me what to do.
It's like Asian
I'm
parents.
my
There was-
own man.
Back in college, Hooper knows this. Back in college, there was this Asian girl that I liked. We were in art school together.
Oh my God, are you
couldn't
telling
da-
a story?
She couldn't date me because I was a white guy, and her Asian parents wouldn't have anything to do with it. They were Jor-El.
They Jorelled her. They Jorelled you.
Jor-El her. Well, I'm fine with my path. Trust me, I'm fine with my path. I'm not complaining about my path. I didn't turn the world upside down just because I had a bad day. Oh, good Lord.
That look right
That
there.
is trash, man.
I like
The
that
whole Superman
Jor-El.
franchise, you had
That
the best
look
actor
right
in the
there.
world. Shawn, oh, he's laughing at me. I'm sorry, I'm loud. You had the best actor for Superman. They blew it 3 times. Anyways, move on.
Yeah, I think that Cavill's my Superman. Because if he lost his powers, he wouldn't roll over. He's still going to beat the tar out of people. If he can, he'll try. That's my thought.
You know,
let's see.
Since we're talking about Superman, I have to add, if you've seen Kill Bill Volume 2,
Thanks, Shuri.
Bill has a very interesting and unique take on the whole Superman lore. Probably the only time I've been that impressed with the mind of Quentin Tarantino. I'm not a huge fan of his. I fully admit I am not a huge fan. I do like some of his movies very well, but that one moment where he goes on about how all the other superheroes are costumed characters trying to hide who they really are. Superman is the only one out of the entire bunch who shows you who he really is, but he hides in a costume. And it was such a revelation for me. His whole, I'm not going to go into it. I'm not going to break it all down, but definitely look that up. It was a unique take on Superman and how he is as a person in the world.
What he said is that Clark Kent is not his secret identity.
That's his alter ego.
That's who he is.
No, Superman is who
Superman.
he is.
Right.
Clark Kent is
He's
his alter
pretending.
ego.
Right.
So yeah, so it's like, whereas Batman is
It's the
Bruce
opposite of
Wayne
Batman.
trying to be Batman. It's
Right.
Superman trying to be Clark Kent.
Right. Batman is his persona. Batman is who he is. And Bruce
In his
Wayne
head.
is
In
right.
his-
Yeah.
In his head.
Right. And Bruce Wayne is the ploy that he puts on for the public.
I'll take that and raise you 1 Deadpool.
Deadpool is Deadpool.
Deadpool is
Deadpool.
I love
I mean,
Deadpool.
I mean,
Whether-
he's like
whether-
you can call me Wade, or you can call me Deadpool.
Right.
Whether he's costumed, whether he's not, he's
Yeah.
just Deadpool.
And then he's
Yeah.
gonna look in the camera and go, "See what I mean?"
And it's wonderful.
I can't get enough of that character.
All right, we're going to our final segment. CaseyJane
Every time I have
is
to.
dancing.
Yeah.
Every time.
She's dancing. It's promo time. Let's first go to Walt.
Okay, I don't have much to promote, but I'm going to promote 3 toy stores that I like to visit down here
Good.
Nice.
in Texas.
Yeah, good.
And you've probably heard me mention these before. The first one I'm going to mention is Holocron Toys in Fort Worth. It's all Star Wars.
Nice.
Everything is Star Wars.
Oh.
They've
Holocron.
got
I like that.
Holocron Toys. They have one of, I think it's 700 of the Toys R Us Millennium Falcons displays.
Wow.
It's valued at about $10,000. So if any of you have $10,000, you can have that to hang up in your house. The second store,
Sure.
the second store I want to promote here is called Empire Toys. It's a little small shop, not far from where I live in Keller, Texas. And it's a really one. If you like Funko Pops, one of the owners is a huge Funko Pop guy, and they have a room that's nothing but Funko Pops. So if you want Funko Pops, you can. In fact, you can look them up on the internet. In fact, I'll give you the websites at the end here. The last one is a store called Dallas Vintage Toys. They've recently moved. I don't know. I think they've moved. I can't remember if they have or not. They were in Garland, Texas, which is North Dallas. That's been voted the best classic toy store in the area, I think 2 or 3 years in a row.
Wow.
I go there all the time, especially around Christmas time, because that's where I go to get the cheap loose figures, and I turn them into Christmas tree ornaments. So, but they have a very, very vast collection of, let's say, if you like G.I. Joe vehicles, they have G.I. Joe vehicles, they have G.I. Joe figures, they have Transformers toys, old, new, used. They have just about anything you can think of. I mean, I like off the top of my head, the DC, the Marvel figures. If you're into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they've got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. If you're into classic Barbies, they have Barbies. You name it, they have it. If they don't have it, they'll find it. If they find it, they'll get it. But that's also, that's also with all, the other two stores as well. But Dallas Vintage which is, I say it's on the other side of the world for me because I live in Tarrant County and that's in Dallas County. But it's a really nice place. You can find all these, DallasVintageToys.com, EmpireToys.com, and HolocronToys.com. You can find those down here.
All right. We're going to go to CaseyJane.
You can find me over at twitch.tv/LittleMissFury or twitter.com/LittleMissFury. Another thing I just wanted to promote, because we haven't done it in a while on this show, is SuperShowTheGame.com. You're into some wrestling cards and dice, you can find both Scott Prime and I as some of the new not new competitors, but as two of the competitors that are on there. But we do have a bunch of new stuff coming out, so check it out.
Hey, that's a good shout. All right, Scott, you're up.
You can catch me over at bothdown.com where I do my podcast. You can obviously catch me here on Taskforce Geek channel with some more Scott Prime reviews coming up in the future. Other than that, just keep an eye out here.
Man, that was so quick. I couldn't even get the banners up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I mean, usually you got like 5 minutes. You got like a soliloquy.
Oh, I don't want to make Winston mad over there because of the Superman rant. So I'm trying to be quick and get out and, all that.
All right. I think that Winston's okay. I think he's all right, man.
I'm surprised.
I like to blame Shawn for a lot of things, even though he doesn't.
Don't we all?
I'm just surprised that he didn't complain about soliloquy.
I hadn't gotten to it yet.
Well, you're up, buddy.
He had a few others earlier in the deal. I didn't get to either. I really don't have
only so much time, man.
I'm saying I really don't have a whole lot to promote at this time, other than just feel free to check us out at rankingstudios.com or our Facebook page at Facebook/rankingstudios. Give us a look. Just check out what we have to offer as far as artwork. Maybe you want a commission. Maybe you want a comic project, or maybe you just want a cover. Who knows? Maybe you just want a caricature of yourself. Feel free to take a look at us and let us know what you think. And hit us up if you so desire.
We'll take projects. Right?
Hey, Shawn, you were talking about that book by Brubaker. We got on Kickstarter. He currently has another project, like a actual sequential comic book
right
stuff
there.
up.
I got mine right there.
So, anyways, I just thought I'd let you guys know.
So he's got a new one
Brubaker
up
also.
He's got a new one up on Kickstarter.
He has one for, I believe, like a trade paperback of like a comic that he's doing. So,
Oh yes. I've actually I've already
Okay.
thrown money at him.
so
Therese calling me out on that. Let's see. I guess I'm up, and now I'm off of my banners. Let's try this right here. I'm taking commissions. Check that out over at Dirk Hooper Artworks on Facebook. You can check me out there. And, if you have a project, we will take projects as a studio on Ranking Studios. Why not? We have done it. We are waiting to make an announcement on something. We're waiting to make an announcement on 2 projects. It's just neither one of them are ready to go. But we got 2 big announcements coming up over on rankingstudios.com. So if you're into that, there it is. What are you laughing about, buddy?
just some of the stuff that we were talking about with Chris Evans. I can't really repeat what it is.
There's only so much we can say. I can't believe we got out of that segment without saying more.
Somebody I'm dating might not be as impressed as others. Anyways, let's just move on. Let's just move on. I'm just laughing. Just move on.
Now it's Scott's turn to be embarrassed.
Oh, Scott, no. One thing, and this is going to go way back to the Alliance Arts comics that are being sold at Walmart. 6 issues. All 4 titles are only going to do 6 issues this year.
Okay. Well, did you know the 3rd issue is not going to come out until November? Is what I read.
I did not know that.
I was recently doing some research because I've been looking for them at Walmart because they should be out at this time, and I read something somewhere. I don't know if they got pushed back or anything with all the stuff going on in the world, but it's not supposed to be until November. And it's gonna be hard to get momentum whether you have Walmart or not if you only put out 2 issues in 9 months or nearly 9 months. So,
and I'm pretty sure
we'll see what happens.
I'm pretty sure that's due to the Backstreet Boys.
Yeah, sure. I agree.
Let's not let this go. Gigi says Shawn is an American treasure. Betty, you've raised a champion.
National treasure.
A champion.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you.
Does anyone have anything that they want to add? Wow. Nope. Dead silence.
For Steve out there, because I know he's looking. I know he's giving me the side eye because I'm wearing this this Vegas Knights hat.
Is that a problem?
Yeah, for him. But I'm a fan of both. I'm a fan of both teams. So go Stars. Okay.
No, they beat Avalanche.
Go Stars.
Steve says maybe.
So, I mean, I'll take a free Stars hat if you send me one. So, you know,
for the people who are watching right now, how do you feel about 5 people on here? We need to know. He says, "Go Stars." We need to know what you think. Even if we wrap this thing up and we're off the air, you can still put comments on here or tell us what you think about having 5 people on at a time. Ronnie said he likes it. We've heard from other people that they don't. So just tell us what you think.
We need feedback.
Yep. Jerry says, good show. Steve says the more the merrier. So, I don't know. You got to tell us. We don't know unless you tell us. So please chime in, send us, put some comments on there, send us emails at taskforcegeek@gmail.com or whatever. Just, get us on the phone. A lot of you guys know us. So you can get in touch with us personally. Does anyone else have anything you want to say? Let me say then that it's really fun to have the whole gang here. That is really cool. And let me also say that I had a lot of fun tonight, and thanks to all of you for making that happen. You guys are super awesome.
I made Shawn laugh twice. I feel accomplished this podcast.
Not easy to do always.
And it happened twice.
There you go. Maxine says she likes it. There we go. We're finally getting it here. All right. Well, thanks to our panel. Thanks to everyone for watching this. Please leave a like and share wherever you see this. Let me emphasize that it's not too late to leave us a like or love or, a laugh or whatever, a share on Facebook or YouTube or wherever, anything like that. Leave us comments. If you're on YouTube, we want to hear from you. It makes a huge difference. Sincerely, it makes a huge difference. So for Scott, and for Shawn and Walt and CaseyJane and myself, this is Dirk Hooper saying dream hard.